What's cooking good lookins? My name is Sydney Metter and I am a fangirl. Welcome my subscribers to another day of Vlog-o-ween. Haha, that was supposed to be Dracula. Anyways, so the point of this video, other than doing terrible Dracula impressions, is that I'm going to be telling you my top 10 Halloween themed TV episodes. Yes, I know that is super specific, but also there have been a lot, so I figured it would be completely okay, and I'd have tons of options, and I was right. There were a lot that I thought about that I was like, oh yeah, I remember really liking that, or then I rewatched and was like, yeah, that was really good. And there were even some that I really liked that I didn't get to put in because there were just too many, you know? So basically, I limited it. I will get this eventually. I limited it down to 10 episodes, and I've just done one per show, so even if a show has several good Halloween episodes, I've only put one in this video. And this includes dramas and comedies, every different show, as long as it is a episode that is set on Halloween and somehow uses the themes of Halloween to contribute to the plot or whatever. Here we go. I also want to mention that a lot of these episodes are just titled Halloween. That's just the name of the episode. So if I don't say the actual name of the episode, I just say the season, that's because the name of the episode is Halloween and I didn't feel it was necessary to mention that for over half of these options. Okay, so number 10 is that 70s show, and this episode is from season 1. Basically what happens is the gang goes into this abandoned middle school or elementary school or something, and they find all their old school records, and a lot of secrets come out about different people, and it's just really funny because it really plays on the fear of people knowing your deepest, darkest secrets. Michael Kelso was held back a grade and he didn't want anyone to know, and Jackie had a really embarrassing middle name, so it's fears about yourself that you don't want people to know. So it's funny, but it also kind of plays on that. So I just think that episode is really funny. It makes me laugh every time. I really like that 70s show, and that episode specifically always really makes me giggle. So number 9 is from the TV show Chuck, and there were 2 different options I could have used for this. They've done 2 Halloween specials. The first was in season 1 because the plot of that episode is this guy invents a serum that basically makes you see everything as a giant nightmare. Everything's scary, everything freaks you out. I really like that aspect. I think it really plays with the Halloween theme. It's kind of got that not Chucky, this is not about Chucky, Chuck-like humor. It's just the most hilarious way you could solve a problem is the way they do it, and I don't know, it's just very hilarious to me. The ending of that episode, the characters on that show are ridiculous, and that's probably what makes it so funny. Number 8 is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and for this I'm going to do the season 2 episode, although I could do the season 4 episode Fear Itself. I do like the season 2 episode a lot better because I think it's just really clever and hilarious how everyone became their costumes. It was just kind of a really big misadventure because, Buffy was the one who's supposed to be the strong one who always knows the answer and is always able to help, and she became the least helpful. And then you have Xander, who's usually the least helpful, is now the strong soldier type. Really showed how Halloween, you sort of become someone that isn't yourself, and I think it was just really hilarious the way they did it and who they had everyone become, and everyone just did a really good, funny job being these different characters, different versions of themselves and stuff. I just think that episode is really funny. So number 7 is in New Girl. It's the season 2 episode where Jess is working at a haunted house, and basically I just really love it because it shows a lot of aspects of Cece and Schmidt's relationship, and just some really good moments between them, but also I just think it's so romantic. First of all, how Nick faced his fears of haunted houses and went into the haunted house to warn Jess about personal stuff that was going on. He had to warn her about something. I don't want to give any spoilers. He went into the haunted house, and what happened when he went into the haunted house was way more hilarious than that. I mean, I laugh every time. It's just absolutely amazing. Jake Johnson is just such an underrated comedian. He is absolutely hilarious. So if you ever see him in anything, you're probably pretty lucky because he just makes everything a lot better. Number 6 is from the 6th season of Bob's Burger, which is called The Haunting. I really like this episode because for me, the best part of Bob's Burger is the family aspect, how they all relate to each other, and how even though they all are just these really wacky, ridiculous characters with very different personalities, in the end they're family and they're always going to love and be there for each other when it comes down to it. Basically in this episode, Louise says, "Oh, I'm so sad, like I'm never scared by anything. I really want to get scared." And so Bob and Linda are like, "Oh, hey, yeah, we're going to scare you this year. It is our goal to scare you this year." And basically they just go through this really interesting night that leads to Louise getting scared and them pulling off this great feat of actually getting her scared. And they did just a brilliant job. I just really like it how everybody, you know, pitched in and worked really hard on making this one little thing happen for Louise because they knew it would make her happy. I'm a Hufflepuff and I like sweet things like that. So number 5 is going to be the 2-part episode from American Horror Story Murder House. Basically, I just really like these episodes because they give a lot of backstory to the characters, especially Tate. I just think it's not only good for moving the plot forward, but it also is really good for character development. And I know it's a 2-parter, but I'm gonna just say it's like one, because it's kind of like, I mean, it's kind of one thing. Number 4 is going to be from Parks and Rec. It's a season 5 episode, Halloween Surprise. So this one, obviously, the best part about this episode is that this is the episode where Leslie and Ben get engaged. But other than that, I think my favorite part of this episode is Jerry's fart attack, as Tom likes to call it. And I also really like the Andy moments in this episode because Andy is my favorite character on that show. So any episode that has a lot of really good Andy moments just makes me super duper happy. Number 3 is The Office Season 2. So this episode had a lot of really hilarious moments, but I think my favorite part of this episode is getting to see how much Jim and Pam really mean to each other. Because Pam, you know, she obviously wants the best for Jim, so she's all like, "You should go try to get this job," and Jim, you know, he's obviously hurt, and so you kind of see that they know that they like each other. As a Jim and Pam shipper, that is a really good episode. It's also just really funny because Michael has to fire someone and he doesn't know who to fire, and so it's just like, you know, typical Michael Scott. He just makes everything harder than it needs to be. Number 2 is from the TV show Community, which incidentally is one of my favorite shows ever. The episode is from season 2 and it's called Epidemiology, I think is how you pronounce that. Basically what happens is they find a way to get everyone at the community college to become zombies somehow. Like all of the episodes of that show, it's really creative and it's really good at parroting popular cliches in movies and even paying homage to a lot of those movies. So I just think this episode is really funny because of that. It also has some really good Troy and Abed moments. I love Troy and Abed. I think that this episode basically just brings out a lot of the best parts of Community as a show. So not only does it really have a lot of really good horror elements, it also just shows some really good parts of the show itself, which I think is what any good episode should do. Number 1 is Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I feel like even though a lot of shows do a lot of specials for a lot of different holidays, there are always those shows that just really have the best episodes for different holidays. You know, like New Girl always has these hilarious Thanksgiving episodes. You know, The OC always makes a big deal about Christmas and Hanukkah, call it Chrismica, and this show always has the best Halloween episodes. So basically the episode is Jake decides that if he wanted to be a thief, he would be great at it and he could basically steal anything. Then the captain decides that that is total bullcrap and he could not steal anything from him. So they make this huge bet where Jake has to steal something from the captain. It seems throughout the episode that everything Jake tries to do, the captain totally is like 10 steps ahead of him. He gets caught on everything he does. But at the end of the episode, spoiler alert again, I'm sorry guys, you find out that Jake actually did manage to steal the thing from the captain's office. So that's the season 1 episode, and I really like that because it starts the trend, but through the next 2 seasons, it shows this recurring theme of the next year the captain tries to steal something from Jake, and then the next season it just keeps going. And so I really like how every show sort of focuses in on one holiday, because it really makes those episodes amazing, and it really gives people something to look forward to in future years. Kind of like how Neil Patrick Harris and David Burka's families always have the best Halloween costumes, and that's what I look forward to every year on Halloween, is seeing those. That was really off topic. Okay, so that was my top 10 Halloween episodes. And if you liked this, give this video a big thumbs up. And if your favorite Halloween episode didn't get mentioned in this video, go ahead and put it down in the comments, because either it's another one of my favorites that I didn't get to mention, or it's something that I haven't seen that I would probably be interested in watching if it's really good. And tell me why you like it as well, so that we can have like a cool discussion about it. Also, if you like this video and you want to keep up with the rest of my Vlog-o-ween videos, which is basically me just making a video every day in October, or at least trying to, because it's actually super duper hard, and I'm a college student, which makes it even harder because I have tests and studying and stuff, and now I'm rambling. But I'm going to try to do a video every single day this month, and a lot of them are going to be daily vlogs, but because I do have a really boring life of studying, a lot of them are going to be videos like this. So if you want to see the videos I've already posted, go ahead and head over to my channel, and if you want to see the rest of the videos, go ahead and hit subscribe, which was the point of that very, very long sentence. Subscribe to my channel, and I will see you tomorrow. Until next time, peace out, Girl Scouts!